This is the slow movement to Beethoven's Piano Sonata number 8, played by Daniel Barenboim. I find these slow movements so beautiful. Anyway, good morning. Here we are. Wednesday, the 22nd of July 2020. Here I am in St Albans, Hertfordshire, England. Now, whoever you are, people who've created this set of letters that purport to come from someone called Sasha Alexandra Nechnaya in Nizhnekamsk, who may actually exist. Well, I think she must exist, actually, for the photographs. I don't think they're photoshopped. So, it's reawakened in me the longing to have a lifetime partner, a wife, if you like. Now, in the past, on two separate occasions, separated by many years, God has led me to a woman. Once when I was in my early 20s, and then much later, in my 40s, I think, through very specific matters that over which I had no control whatsoever. It basically, they presented, we had to meet, but it was God who organised it. Right. I mean, likewise for my former wife, quite frankly. I could only have met her if I'd had a horse and she'd had two horses and we had them at the same yard, etc., etc. So, and I only went up there because I was engaged to another girl her father was black and mother was white, Scottish, English, etc., Italian actually a bit as well. And my mother took exception to this, and I said to mother, and bogged off. So, I think probably what I'm saying is that women essentially have had a massive influence on my life. I had a wonderful mother, older gentlefolk parents, a wonderful, as it happens, stepfather, because my own father died before I was born, and then my mother married Mr. Keith James Ogilvy McEwen, who was a wonderful stepfather, an older gentleman already, sensible, down to earth, solid, gentle man. So I was blessed with this wonderful, solid, stable, older parents' background, and then good schooling and good home and basically everything good. Till I hit the rocks with my former wife, who'd been, excuse the French, but fucked by her father, sexually abused by her own father, and therefore had this in denial situation that she hates men. She's still alive. I know. When I finally found out about the suicide of my son, 2 years after the event, because I went to his grandmother's, so the mother of my former wife's place, number 22 Kidlington Road, Islip Village. Oh, no, she died too. Oh, the neighbours said, we went to the funeral of your son. No one had told me. I'd been banned. Now, on the face of it, the evidence is I must be a bad man, obviously, because she said so, my former wife, and the courts decided that. Well, quite frankly. And you can't sue a judge. Right, both my hair and my beard I will not cut. I'm living for my son, Robert Francis Rossbush. 2. Now, where does his soul go? I'm a Christian. You're not meant to commit suicide. It's sort of rather against the rules, really. It's lovely, isn't it? I don't know. I find great solace in the sonatas of Beethoven. They're 32. I just listen to them cyclically. No one's perfect. I tried time and again to get my former wife to counselling and stuff, okay, and this dark place in her has never been expunged. And now she's caused... My mother was a maternity sister. She loved, babies and all of that. So she was completely denied her sort of normal grandparenting side of her, my poor old mum. Curiously, actually, I'm afraid, my mother had 2 children, so I have an older brother, Dr. Keith Bush, at number 6 Harley Street, London, and he's 3.5 years older, and he had a broken marriage as well with a small child, grown up now, obviously, and again, that was a broken marriage. So my poor old mum, a maternity sister who loves babies and children and all that stuff, never knew her grandchildren. Well, that's awful. I did not know that women could be evil. I had no idea. You hear about it in the news. There's this Johnny Depp thing at the moment. I mean, the girls were pooing in his bed. She had a girlfriend, his partner or whatever. And then it's all his fault because he explodes at this point and wishes her dead. Well, wouldn't you, in those circumstances, quite frankly? If your partner was shagging a girl in your bed, your home bed, and just for fun, the girls pooed in the bed. Well, that's a bit extreme, isn't it? It's awful. So I'm sorry, women are potentially evil. So are men. There's nothing new there. Murder and mayhem continues around the world. Men finding excuses to kill each other, and etc. But fundamentally, there is this potential for evil within a woman, basically. In a woman's way. The woman has our heartstrings. If we love someone, then we give our lives to them too. And they can then play those heartstrings. They know just how to wind you up to get you in a state. I've come across this, speaking to other people. The woman will just keep on needling, pushing the right buttons to get the man into a rage, quite frankly. And then it's the man's fault for being in a rage. And that's not right. So, it's there in the Bible for what it's worth. In Genesis, Adam and Eve, and the woman gave Adam the apple, etc., etc., which I've always seen not as a true actual story, but as a sort of allegory to try and explain the human condition. But it's Eve who's evil. On the other hand, I just looked it up, the epilogue to the end of Proverbs is a passage, beautiful passage, entitled The Wife of Noble Character. How else do we continue the human race without mothers, for heaven's sake? You know, they're very important people. In St. Albans here, it's a very nice area. There are lots of yummy mummies in there with their children and nice prams and etc., etc. Well, okay. Wonder what's next. Oh, here we go. This is nice. It's Handel's Messiah coming. He's a countertenor. I've sung the Messiah at the cathedral here in St. Albans, the Cathedral and Abbey Church of St. Albans. So I can sing too, but not with this sort of purity. This is a professionally trained voice. I'm just an amateur. Anyway, I think enough said. So, yes, I have this clearly inner longing, and hence why I fell for this. I call it a scon for what it's worth. It's a scam and a con. And the IP address of the perpetrators is in Buenos Aires, apparently, Argentina, whereas the girl meant to come from Nizhny Camps, which is 500-600 miles east of Moscow, etc., etc. But the letters were absolutely brilliant, you know, really so crafted to just endear the writer thereof to the recipient thereof, basically. So I'm insisting on taking a positive out of this. Yes, I'm getting older. Yes, I would love to have a beautiful young woman in my life. Has the blackbird come to talk to us? I feed the birdies. That's it, really. Let's pave the way of the Lord. Amen.